Welcome back, sports fans, for another edition of our Pioneer Football Preview. Once again, my name is Greg Buckner, and I'm joined here by Dane Pavlowski. Going to the prep games this week, big matchup here coming up, Chippewa Hills against Reed City. Going to really sort out the picture here coming in the last final 2 weeks, or who's going to come away with that CSA Gold Division title. Both coming in with identical one-loss records in the league. What are your thoughts on what's going to go down there?
Good question. It's going to be a good one. It's going to be a really good matchup of one team's got the offense, the other team's got the defense. Yep. Where Reed City this year, they've scored about 50 total points more than the Warriors, but they've given up about 50 more total points than the Warriors. And you know, it's going to be really interesting that Chippewa Hills defense has really kind of kept the Warriors out of trouble, especially in the last few weeks. Against Big Rapids, Hunter Conley had 3 turnovers, the quarterback, for the Warriors in the first half. But because of that Chippewa Hills defense, Big Rapids wasn't able to score. Where if you make those kind of mistakes against that Reed City offense, if you give them the ball more, you know, turn it over to them more, that might be dangerous. So that Chippewa Hills defense could be very important. And on the other side, you have that Reed City offense, arguably the 3 best running backs in the league. It's going to be interesting to see how they can work against that Chippewa Hills defense, you know, that held Newaygo to 7 points, didn't allow a point for the first 3 weeks. It's going to be a really interesting matchup there of 2 clashing styles, and kind of see which one can get the better and come out on top.
Definitely. I think, like you said, it's going to be strength against strength there with the run defense the Warriors have versus the run offense the Coyotes have, and something's got to give. But I think if you're a football fan, you want to see some hard-nosed football, this is going to be your game for the week. So looking at a pick for this one, what's your thoughts?
Man, it's tough. I've been going back and forth since I was up there looking at some stats and everything. But I'm giving it Chippewa Hills. You know, Reed City's kind of been the class of the conference for the last few years. They've had the Warriors number, but man, the Warriors simply have too many playmakers on defense. And I think when it really comes down to it, Reed City, they're going to have to find something more than just those 3 running backs. And there's not a lot more on that offense. We've seen a few times, but if Chippewa Hills can keep the ball on offense and Hunter Conley can make some plays, find some guys open in the passing game, I think the Warriors come out on top.
Yeah, for me, it's you got to flip a coin pretty much in this one. I think I'm just barely by an edge. I think I'm going to have to go with the Coyotes just because of the running game they have. I know Chippewa Hills, their defense has just been ridiculous this year, but I do think if the Coyotes can keep that time of possession in their favor and wear down that defense and maybe force 1 turnover or 2 on off against the Chippewa or the Warriors offense there, I think that might be the recipe for them. But like you said, going to be, you want to see a good prep football game, that's going to be your game for this week. And now moving on, we usually talk about the prep sports, but we'd be remiss to not mention the big-time matchup here between undefeated Ferris State football team traveling on the road to take on an undefeated Ohio Dominican team that won the conference last year. Another matchup here with strength on strength across the board. 2 of the top defenses in the league, 2 of the top offenses in the league. Just what do you see happening in this game? It's pretty much going to come down to, I think, who wants it more.
I think it will, and you know, going to Columbus, and it is Ohio Dominican's homecoming, which you know, might add a little added fuel. But you know, I saw the Bulldogs for the first time with my own eyes last Saturday, and they're averaging, you know, about 50 points a game. Yeah. And I can't see anyone that's going to slow down that offense. You know, maybe you're not going to give up 50 in the first quarter like Tiffin did, but I can't imagine somebody's going to keep Jason Vanderlaan when he gets a whole game to play. I can't imagine that Ohio Dominican will be able to keep that offense in check. And if the Bulldog defense keeps playing like it is, you know, the front 7, I think the Bulldogs can come out with a win.
I do too. I think definitely that either team come out. I think the Bulldogs, with the momentum they have, I do see them winning this game. It's going to be very close, but the Panthers' defense is stingy, so are the Bulldogs. And just across the board, I think if you want to see some good football, this is going to be the week. And I think, like you said too, Vanderlaan, he's barely played more than a half in all of these games. You know, a few of the games he's hung in there for the 4 quarters, but he hasn't had to with the scores they've been putting up. So I think if you give him some full time to run around, and you got the addition of Jahan Brown, a guy that had in the first quarter alone had 4 touchdowns last week. I mean, that offense just keeps clicking and clicking, and I think they're really going to come out. And they don't want to say too much this week at practice, but I do know that, you know, deep down inside, they want this one bad. And with an undefeated Michigan Tech team on the horizon, and the week after on the road, you're going to have to definitely, if you want to come out of the GLIAC, this is going to be a big-time test for them with another big-time test coming up the week after. Alrighty, here are a few more of our football picks for this week.